What's up everyone, Corey Vincent here.
Sir Aaron Carter as well.
And we are your video game bang bros unboxing things for you this evening. So this time we are unboxing something a little different. Typically we will do like the loot crate boxes or the power up boxes, but this time we have a product to open up. One that I'm looking very much forward to. So without further ado, we are unboxing the Corsair Strafe mechanical keyboard. This thing is brand new to the market. Aaron, have you ever used a mechanical keyboard?
I've used a mechanical pencil.
No, Aaron, it's not the same thing. So we're gonna have two varying opinions. I currently use the Corsair K70 RGB keyboard. This one's coming in at a slightly lower price point. What kind of expectations do you have for a keyboard like this?
Function. That's a word.
That is a word.
Comfortability. That's another word.
That you made up.
Cooltacity.
I'll accept that one.
There it is.
I'll accept that one. I like cooltacity. Get it trending. So without further ado, we are going to unbox this beautiful Strafe mechanical keyboard.
2,000 years later.
Now the first thing I'm going to say I noticed is they went back to the Corsair sales logo.
Yeah.
A lot of people complained about the last version when Corsair Gaming did their big reveal. They thought that the logo looked like a tramp stamp. There's the tramp stamp logo. You guys can see that. Other than that, this thing feels solid.
Looks like it's solid. The feel, definitely.
I really like the style of the keys on this thing too. You see it's kind of got that razor-esque kind of smushed down letters.
Yeah.
It's kind of that stylized. The part I do not really care for is the cable. Yes, it's thick, and it's
very thick.
It's got the two USBs, so if you're using USB 2.0, you plug them both in. If it's 3.0, you can get away with just using the one. I don't like that this is just like smooth cable. Here's the K70 that we can compare it to. See how it's got this threaded chorus cable that keeps it safe from getting sliced or something. It's just that one little extra bit of protection.
Who the hell is slicing cables? You play video games on the Iron Throne?
Yes.
Then you're probably going to need the threaded cable.
What's cool about these too is that they're using the MX Cherry switches. So they are going to give you a very swift push on those keys. What I like about the Strafe is that it's using more of a matte finish on the keys. Because one big complaint I have about the K70 is that they're gloss. And I get my dirty ass Cheeto fingers all over the keys and I gotta constantly clean it. I have a feeling that these would stay like more clean. This has that aluminum, that brushed aluminum feel. This is definitely all plastic.
You thinking that as a downgrade? Upgrade?
I think that's a downgrade. It's probably why, because this one here, I think retails for about $150 or something. We'll put the real price. Let's put it right here.
I wonder if the editor of this one can do that.
The Corsair Strafe, on the other hand, retails for about $109, $110. One very cool feature about the Strafe keyboard that this version of the K70 doesn't have, which maybe they'll add in a future version, is the USB pass-through. So if you'll see here, there's a USB port, so you can use your mouse or something.
Oh, I like that a lot.
It adds one extra, port for you to use. The Corsair Gaming does not. Each LED in both of these is independent. And so even though you only have red in the Strafe keyboard, each one can be programmed to light up on command or pulse or based on like what keys you push. You can do a ripple effect where you hit one key and it ripples across. And what Corsair is doing that's super cool is that if you're not quite handy at using their software, you can go to their forums and download skins and things that other people have done. One thing that you can do with these Corsair keyboards, both of them, that's really cool is you can make any key a macro. So if you're playing a game and there's a very strategic double tap jump right RB thing, you can tie all those keys to just like caps lock button. And it has a very nice profile switching in between games, so you can have multiple profiles set up for different games and it switches on the fly.
That's nice.
One important thing is the sound test. Now, I think we should probably mention that The K70 I'm using has been pretty worked in. I've had it for about 6 months to a year, I can't remember. But I've used it quite a bit, so. Using the same, we're not gonna switch the microphone or anything. You can hear, I'm just gonna type simply my name. So that's there, and then.
Untrained ears, I would say that the later version really has that plasticky matte sound. Like it's kind of soft. Like you can tell like it's a little softer than the older version.
That's not necessarily a terrible thing, because some people play like in a room at night with like their wife sleeping next to them, and if you're gonna hear this, I mean, I love the sound of that. To me, when you're in the middle of a game and you're playing and you hear that sound, you're like, oh my god.
Unless you're on Skype with that damn sound. Yeah.
The Strafe is definitely a lot more tame, but you feel the smoothness from the switches.
Oh yeah, there is definitely.
They definitely feel smooth. They both have the same smoothness. So if noise is an option, you're definitely gonna want to probably put one in the Strafe column.
So, as Corsair usually does with these keyboards, they light up in the dark because of the LED in there. So we're gonna hit the lights and show you how it looks.
So lifting these up, we both do have these on max brightness at this point. Still, what we notice in the Strafe is that underneath the keys, they have put like a nice red bed underneath it, like that reflects that red LED off it to make that red super deep. Aaron's keyboard over here, the Strafe, is a lot more bold in the font they decided to go with on the keys. So that red is piercing right through those letters. Even on the highest setting here, because they chose a smaller font, it doesn't quite jump through the letters as much as it does in the Strafe. All in all, both fantastic keyboards. You can't go wrong functionally with either one. Just minor bells and whistles on the Corsair K70, but Strafe throws a couple little tricks in there too with the USB pass-through. Aaron, being someone who doesn't typically drop this kind of money on a keyboard, do you see many more features in the Corsair K70 RGB that would make it worth the extra money from the Strafe?
Not enough for a move right now. I could see maybe if they came out with kind of like a blended third iteration of both that incorporates the USB port there, and then the braided
is what we're going with here.
Braided cord as well. And then multicolors. Like, come on. There's a rainbow. Use it. Jeez.
If I had to choose one to stick with, I would stay with my K70 RGB. And the only reason is because it has that full spectrum of colors. And that means a lot to me. But honestly, between the two of them, had the Strafe did the same thing and given you all the range of colors, I think the Strafe kind of takes it. The quietness of the keys. I don't really mind the plastic chassis. Well, I think that about does it. I want to thank Corsair big time for hooking us up with these keyboards for review. If you want to check them out for yourself, you can go online to Amazon.com or Corsair's official website. They have a great forums where people will answer your questions, anything you have that goes beyond the scope of technicality we were able to take you on. But other than that, we want to thank you guys for checking us out and nerdreactor.com. Leave a comment below if you enjoy this keyboard or if there's a better one out there. Maybe you like Razer. Tell us why. I'm Cory Vincent.
And I'm Sir Aaron Carter.
And we'll see you on
the sandwiches. What is this thing?
I don't know. That's why I've been avoiding saying anything.